This one comes from Call Me Joe. What kind of suicide does the statement, certainty is a sin, commit? How do we analyze this statement logically and respond tactically?
Well, if the statement certainty is a sin is offered as a certainty, then it's self-refuting. Then it is the sin that it seems to be, in a sense, chastising. Okay. The other question I would say is, first of all, I would point out, is that a certain statement? I'd apply the rule to itself to see if it satisfies its own demand. And if they mean to say that as a certainty, then they are committing the sin that they're implying no one should commit. Okay. And then there are other things that you could ask. They're counterexamples. This is a false statement. Is it a sin to say that, to use the kind of tired phrase, 2 + 2 = 4, is that a sin? Because I'm certain about that. Is it a sin? Then there's a whole bunch of other pieces of knowledge that people have that they're certain about. By the way, certainty is a psychological thing. People can be certain about all kinds of things that are false. But nevertheless, there are all kinds of things that people are certain about. They're certain about where they live. And this is why they get in their car and drive there when they leave work, because they are completely convinced it is objectively, absolutely, and certainly true that they live at this particular address. Okay. Are they committing a sin of some sort? No. What they are trying to do is enforce a kind of relativism about things that really matter that they disagree with others. And then they're enforcing it by chastising the so-called certainty that people have. That's all it is. It's a trick. It's a ruse.
Yeah, and especially if they're saying it's a sin, they're talking about a religious concept here. Does God want us to have confidence? Does he want us to be clear about what we believe and to know what is true? The answer is obviously yes. The Bible is full of God giving evidence for things to try so that people will know that he is God and that they'll be able to endure, they'll be able to persevere because of their confidence. There's nothing, confidence is never denigrated in the Bible that I can think of.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, it's false.
Especially when it comes to spiritual truths, moral truths, etc. You're right. My suspicion is when somebody says that certainty is a sin, they are just trading on religious language to say that's a big no-no and you ought not do it. You're off the reservation when you talk like you're certain about things, and I think that's what's going on. But it may be that progressive Christians might say that certainty is a sin, and you evangelicals who are so certain about your views, then you're actually sinning against God. My suspicion is that comment probably comes from a non-Christian who's just employing that kind of language to disqualify certainty as a way of responding to things.
And it could have something to do with relativism, because when you think about it, the real question is, are you certain, is what you're certain about true or is it false?
Right.
If it's false and if it's evil, then of course your certainty will cause damage to people because you will do rash things that will hurt people. But if you're certain about something that's true, like say Wilberforce was, then you will have the perseverance and the confidence to do what's right and make a good difference in this world. It's not the certainty that's the problem. And I think for a long time people thought that's what the problem was, but it's silly.
Yeah, it is. William Wilberforce was certain that slavery was a serious moral harm, and that's why he fought it for his whole life. Mother Teresa was certain that helping the poor was a virtue, and that's why she did it her whole life. So are we saying that Mother Teresa was sinning because she was certain about the virtue of helping the poor? When these kinds of these counterexamples are really good in conversations, because I know what people are after here. They're trying to disqualify Christians' confidence about concepts that the challenger doesn't agree with. And so they want to relativize your point the claim that Christian is making. No, you're so certain about this, but certainty is a sin. You shouldn't be certain. You should just be saying, well, this is my belief, but I can't say it's true for everybody. That's what they want, okay? And that's all that's going on here.